everyone, I am coming to you today and showing you what I got at a yard sale. For some reason I thought I already had done this, so I never done it. But I got all of these plus a huge tote for $5, and that's it. This is the main reason why I wanted it. I asked them how much they want, and I was a little nervous because I'm like, some of these are older, and so I'm thinking that the price is going to be, up there. But they sold me this and an entire tote of books for $5. And so I thought I would come and show you the reason why I bought the tote and show you the copyright dates in them and everything else. I'll show you this one last because we're actually using this one for my daughter. And the rest of these be pretty neat to use, but I don't know if I should or could. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first one is, this is grade 3, language for daily use. This one, let's see here. Sorry, there we go. Look at the illustrations right there. Okay, this one says 1964. And it says that the background photograph is from the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Rogers Fund, 1958. But this goes over in English every day, listening, using capital letters, talking with friends, kinds of sentences, writing good paragraphs, using words carefully, letters to write, talking about good books, telling and writing stories, using our language clearly, and let's have a play and review handbook. So here's this, and again, and this would be a book that you wouldn't write in, that you would have to have a separate notebook for. And this one I had to go through and do some erasing because it had some inappropriate stuff in here. But child did write in this at first, but this is practice writing titles before names, writing your name and address. Sorry, it is getting blurry. I don't know why it's doing that. It's probably done. Looking at pictures, using table of contents, the title of your book, alphabetical order, writing a good paper, a language folder, spelling the names of days. This is a chapter talking about using capital letters. Sentences that tell, sentences that give orders of directions. So my daughter's already going through this in her grade 2 curriculum that we're using now. So let's see here. Writing sentences, using brought, using took, using apostrophe S to show belonging to, writing apostrophe S, heading in a letter, using ran or run, making book posters. So that's what that one has. This one was in the worst shape, but this is volume 7 of the Pictorial Encyclopedia of American History. This is from years 1861 to 1865, the bitter war between the states. This book right here, the pages they're still thick. Copyright 1962, 1968. Talks about the blue and the gray. Setting for the Naval War was created when President Lincoln on April 19th, 1861 proclaimed a blockade of southern ports. England had major interest in the war between the states. The fighting men of the North and South often marched to battle with songs on their lips. The Western Campaign, first major step in the Union's execution of its strategy, swung into action. Kentucky, which had sought to remain neutral, was the battlefield. Grant was a subordinate of General Halleck, Union commander in the West, and at the time was not highly regarded. The 1862, a change in command was mandatory Lincoln decided after a fruitless Peninsula campaign on July 11th, 1862, the president named General Henry W. Halleck, General-in-Chief of all Union land forces. For some reason, when I saw the W, I automatically assumed Washington. Don't ask me. The clashing of cavalry. Says 1863 at the top right there. The clashing of cavalry marked a turn of events in the battle-torn Shenandoah Valley. Lee decided to carry the war to his enemy, and the Army of Northern Virginia swept up the Shenandoah Valley. And then it says the North midway in the war, prosperity and political strife. And then the South situation in 1863, loss of cotton revenue, depression. Okay, so it's still pretty, the inside is still pretty good. The outside just has a little bit of mold on it. Next is Modern School Mathematics, Structure and Method, grade 7. I'm assuming class of 62 had this book. About the cover. This says copyright 1967. This goes over sets of numbers, properties of addition and subtraction in a set of whole numbers, properties of multiplication and division in a set of whole numbers, numbers and numerals, algorithms of arithmetic, sets in geometry, number theory, line and angle relationships, coordinate systems on a line, fractions of rational numbers, decimals for rational numbers, measurement and geometry, percentage and statistics, and the set of integers. So sets and numbers is the first one. Let's see. Oral exercises, written exercises, intersection of sets. Yeah, see this one. Okay, oral exercises. Give the addition and subtraction statements relate to the following statements. And then 13 minus 5 equals 8. Solution, 13 minus 8 equals 5. 8 plus 5 equals 13. 5 plus 8 equals 13. My son's learning that in his math right now. Not this, though. Simplify each expression. L is not equivalent to R because, as shown below, L contains 16 points and R contains 14 points. See? Yep. To answer this question, first trace a copy of ABC on a piece of thin paper or on waxed paper. Then, as shown below, you can compare each diagram with this copy and verify the given statement. So, okay. So that's this one. That's Modern School Mathematics, grade 7. This one I was really interested in. This is Human Geography by J. Russell Smith, Book 1, Part 2, Peoples and Countries. This one I might end up using at some point. And someone wrote the cities of West Virginia in here. This one says copyright 1943. And it has to the teachers. To the teachers. Alright, and the contents has West Virginia, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, geography in World War II, and then the appendix. Okay. And I love this right here. Like how all these pages are lined out. And some of these pictures have like conversation starters that go along with them. This is a picture of Charleston, capital city of West Virginia, with the Capitol building circled over there. Like this one says, Charleston, capital city, West Virginia. In the distance rises the dome of our new capital. What two rivers join at Charleston? Find the main business section of the city. Okay. Recreational map of West Virginia. Talks about the forests. This says coal, air, and water. From these three came the stocking which the girl is holding, and her house jacket is rayon. What is that? It says a bottle making machine invented by Michael J. Owens, a native of West Virginia. This machine can do the work of 200 or more glass blowers and can keep at the job day and night, turning liquid glass into glass bottles. That's interesting. Okay, this is Europe. Bridge across the Shannon River at Limerick. How many kinds of buildings can you pick out? So, map of the British Isles showing where coal was found. A Saturday afternoon soccer football match, Birmingham, England. A peasant's home in Yugoslavia. The cloud has lowered part way into the valley, showing the snow-clad peaks above. A sweet-scented valley in Bulgaria, given over to the growing of roses for perfume. That's pretty awesome. Lumbering in Yugoslavia. Asia and Europe. Women and children do most of the picking of tea leaves in both Japan and China. Preparing the tea for shipment. The tea is carefully dried in those broad pans. Chinese porters carrying goods over the mountains of western China on the way to Tibet. One of many scattered islands of the black men. The men in the picture are natives of the Solomon Islands. Their canoe is a war canoe. Behind them are the waving coconut palm trees which line so many tropical shores. And that's about the Isles of the Pacific. And then last one. In this great war between the United Nations and the Axis powers, air might will be a deciding factor. The above picture was taken from the deck of an aircraft carrier looking toward two other carriers. So this right here is awesome. I really might use this one at some point. All right, then we have science, elementary science 5. And this one is pretty cool. Like you have like the little checkout papers from when I was a kid. And then underneath it you have a stamped version. And it shows you when it was checked out. All right. Okay, this one, the contents. Explorers, exploring the world of molecules, exploring solids, liquids, and gases, exploring the world of living things, exploring the farmer's world, water and conservation, exploring inside the earth, mineral treasure, machines, exploring your growth, how we can get electricity, how we use and control electricity, what will the weather be, and then science words and index. I forgot to show you the copyright. It's copyright 1959, also copyright 1955. All right, so we're on about explorers, the proof of stars, and this has science activities in it. Currents and climate, how we find our way on the ocean, latitude, and then here's an experiment. Molecules can pull, and it has an experiment. Okay, does a liquid expand when it is heated? And then it has an experiment. Does a gas expand when it is heated? And it has an experiment. Talks about reptiles. Things to talk about, things to do, things to find. Controlling insect pests and plant diseases. See, this book's gotten wet at some point. Let's see, that's an interesting experiment. Doesn't say what it's about. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. Okay, I'm assuming this is probably talking about like climate. I don't know. Fast-moving water can carry along large amounts of soil and sand, even rocks and pebbles. Many kinds of igneous rocks, magma to rock. Many kinds of sedimentary rocks, heat changes rock, and so forth. And some of these books, where they're old school books, have writing in them. And I had to do a lot of erasing in this book because it had some inappropriate things in it. Okay, then we have Exploring Science 6. This one says 1967 right there. And it says copyright 1964 and 1966. The contents are insects that work together, plants that are not green, time and seasons, saving the soil, eyes and seeing, weather forecasting, some common acids, electrical energy, trees, musical sounds, making work easier, bird study, water in the ground, the ways of fish, jets in action, science definitions, and index. And I love the illustrations. And it has like real pictures in here also. See? Honeybees. Talks about the different kinds of bees. Social wasps. Mold. Moon. Clock faces. Time over the earth. Okay. Importance of soil cover. Talking about the eyes. Light for work. Let's see here. Experiments. Yeah, this one has experiments in it also. More experiments. Protecting our forests. Vibrating strings. Stringed instruments. More experiments. Making work easier. Talk about pulleys and stuff like that. Screws to make work easier and so forth. And this is another science one. I'm not entirely sure what grade this is, but I'm assuming this one's high school. Last time it was checked out was 1983. And this got some writing in it also, but that's okay. Let me see. The contents of this one is Unit 1, Biology, Unit 2, Ecology, Unit 3, Protists and Plants, Unit 4, Animalia, Unit 5, the Human Body, Unit 6, Life, and then it goes on to the Biology. That face cracks me up. I forgot to tell you the copyright was 1977. Okay. Talks about why we study living things, how classifying began. Look at the kitty. The problem of food. Changes in land, soil. And it's got like checkups throughout. A home for living things. And this one has experiments in it also, but it calls it Investigate. Helpful and harmful. See, Investigate again. This one is talking about lichens. What are lichens? Fungi. Mold to medicine. Other gymnosperms. Developing new varieties of plants. Getting food. The life cycle of a frog. Lungs and circulation. Mammals of the sea. Your muscles. Your nervous system. And that's this one. Okay, now I'll show you the one that we're actually using. It's spelling connections. This is a Zaner Blauser And this is copyright 1988. And then here's the contents. This is grade 3, I believe. Say. Oh, here's some more contents. Okay, it talks about paths to spelling success, steps for learning to spell a word, steps for spelling words on an oral test, steps for spelling a word when you are writing on your own. And the way we split it up is this is what she does on day 1. She'll do first page and it has all 15 words laid out, and she'll do these right here. She writes in a separate notebook the answers. And day 2, it would be like this page, and I like how it shows it in cursive also, and she likes that also. And then day 3, and I like how it carries the word list on over. She would do this, and then day 4 be this page, and then day 5 she would have a test, and it just continues like that. Day 1, day 2, day 3, excuse me, day 4, and then day 5 she has a test. And the words do get a little bit harder. Like, let's see here. Here's unit 9. Let's see here. Unit 19. You can see how it shows the cursive words first. Let's see, review right here. It does her review. Sorry, got distracted. Okay, but anyway, see, this is testing. Language to go. Okay, but anyway, see how it shows it in cursive first, but then you have manuscript over here. And manuscript. Okay. And then, let's see here. Unit 22. Okay. Then we have Unit 33.
Mommy, how did your video come out?
Unit 34. Okay, and then I like this back here. Well, they have challenge activities for the units. Like if I don't want to make her do a test, I'll just have her do a challenge activity like this. But I like how it has, back here it has the dictionary. Hold on. Okay, so it has the spelling dictionary, pronunciation key, using the dictionary, and then the dictionary. I also like how it has this page right here. Alright. So if you guys have any questions or comments, just leave them down below and I will answer them. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye.